We can't pay our employees, we can't pay our vendors. It's very frustrating.
Thousands of restaurants across America are closing, and we're not just talking small diners. Big names like Red Lobster and Applebee's are fading fast. A mass extinction in the restaurant world is underway. If you think your favorite barbecue ribs will be safe next year, think again. Today, we'll uncover 10 major chains that could vanish in 2025, and why it's about much more than money. This is the end of an era in American dining. Number 1. Applebee's. Think back. When was the last time you dropped by an Applebee's just because? No birthday, no anniversary, just a regular Friday night after a long week. You wanted something easy, something familiar. Maybe a Bourbon Street steak, a couple of Long Island iced teas, and some laughs with friends or family. Applebee's wasn't fine dining, but it was dependable, a place you knew, a spot that felt like a friend in a world that's always changing too fast. But lately, that friend has been quietly closing its doors, slipping away one location at a time. In 2023 alone, Applebee's shut down more than 40 restaurants across the country. And the parent company, Dine Brands, has warned that 25 to 35 more closures could come in 2025. It's clear the chain is struggling as profits shrink and competition tightens. Yet, the story isn't just about numbers or sales. Applebee's is caught in the middle of a big change in how Americans eat out. With prices rising and budgets stretched thin, people are making tough choices. Many now cook at home to save money. Others prefer to splurge on meals that feel special, places that offer more than just familiarity. And Applebee's? It's stuck in the middle, too casual to feel special, but too costly to compete with cooking at home or fast, trendy spots. According to industry data, visits to Applebee's have dropped nearly 20% since the pandemic began. The core customers who still come tend to be over 45, a group that's dining out less and less. Younger diners? Millennials and Gen Z are gravitating toward fast, convenient, and Instagram-worthy food experiences. To them, Applebee's menu and vibe feel like relics from a past era, outdated and unexciting. And that's where the cracks start to show. Once a staple in small towns and neighborhoods near schools and hospitals, Applebee's was a community hub, a place to gather and unwind. Now, more and more of those red neon signs go dark. When an Applebee's closes, it's more than just another restaurant shutting down. It's a sign of a deeper divide, a shrinking space for affordable, casual dining that brings people together. Without those places to meet, share meals, and connect, communities start to pull apart. People retreat into their own worlds, feeling more alone even when surrounded by neighbors. If this trend keeps going, Applebee's might soon be remembered as just another name on a long list of once iconic brands, a fading memory of what American neighborhood life used to be. Number 2. Hooters, fading wings of a forgotten era. Drive through just about any suburban plaza and you might catch it a sun-bleached sign hanging over a dusty facade. Hooters, once loud, now quiet. No sports fans packing the booths. No laughter spilling into the parking lot. Just the empty echo of a brand that doesn't know what time it is. Let's be honest, America is moving on from Hooters. What used to be marketed as a cheeky celebration of wings, beer, and beautiful women now feels more like a time capsule from the 90s that no one asked to reopen. Back then, Hooters had a formula: tight uniforms, big screens, bar food, and a boys' club atmosphere that passed for novelty. But this is not 1995. It's 2025. And the novelty? It wore off. The numbers tell the same story. In 2012, there were over 430 Hooters across the US. Today, fewer than 280, and the slide hasn't stopped. In just the past couple of years, dozens more have gone dark not just in sleepy towns, but in major metros like Chicago and Houston. But the most telling sign? It's not the closures, it's the silence. People aren't protesting the loss. They're not asking where their Hooters went, they're just not going. According to a recent Statista survey, more than 60% of Americans between 18 and 34 said they felt uncomfortable with the brand's outdated image. That's not just a little resistance, that's a full generational shrug. Younger customers don't want to eat in a place that makes their dates feel awkward. or their girlfriends feel excluded. And they definitely don't want to post about it online. Today's diners crave atmosphere, connection, craft cocktails, Instagrammable moments. Hooters never caught up. Even worse, the food doesn't save it. Across top states like California, Texas, and Florida, the chain's average Yelp rating hovers under 3 stars, dangerously low, in a world where taste is everything and patience is thin. Meanwhile, competitors built on similar ideas, Twin Peaks, Tilted Kilt, and others have begun evolving, updating menus, revamping interiors, leaning into the sports bar vibe. They're chasing the next wave, blending old-school fans with new-school sensibilities. Hooters, though, still stuck in its old orange shorts. The real tragedy might be cultural. Millennials and Gen Z didn't grow up with Hooters as a rite of passage. There's no nostalgia to hold on to, no shared memory that tugs them back. Without that connection, the brand becomes invisible, not offensive, just irrelevant. And irrelevance is far harder to fix than bad press. What's left is a fading logo, a menu nobody craves, and an aesthetic that feels more out of touch than rebellious. Hooters once branded itself as bold. Now, it's barely even remembered. Like an old bar song no one sings anymore. It's disappearing not with a bang, but with the quiet of a parking lot no one pulls into. Number 3. Subway. Subway used to be everywhere, the reliable quick bite for students, busy workers, or anyone wanting a sandwich that felt a little healthier than fast food. It was affordable, convenient, and familiar. But today, Subway's presence is shrinking fast. Since peaking at over 27 US locations in 2015, the chain has closed more than 4 stores in the last 5 years alone. By the end of 2024, only about 20 locations remain, and that number continues to drop. What caused this steep decline? Several factors, but 3 major hits stand out. First, the menu itself hasn't kept pace. Modern customers expect fresh, wholesome ingredients and transparency about sourcing. Instead, Subway still relies on processed meats and canned vegetables outdated by today's standards. What once felt fresh now feels stale. Second, Subway's reputation has suffered. A series of scandals, from questionable ingredient sourcing abroad to the fallout from its former spokesperson, Jared Fogel's criminal conviction, have deeply damaged public trust. Once lost, that trust is incredibly hard to rebuild. Third, competitors have seized the opportunity to win over customers. Chains like Jersey Mike's, Firehouse, Subs, and Panera Bread have revamped their menus, upgraded their atmospheres, and prioritized authenticity. They've created experiences that resonate with today's diners, something Subway has struggled to do. Subway stores often feel stuck in the past. The same worn decor, smaller sandwiches, and an overall experience that hasn't evolved. Even with new ownership under Raw Capital since 2023, there's little sign of a turnaround. Without the original founders steering the ship, Subway seems adrift, slowly sinking with no clear course. So now the question looms: will Subway survive through 2025? Or will it become just a memory, a name tied to hurried, soggy sandwiches from stores long closed? Number 4. The Cheesecake Factory. If you've ever wandered through a big American mall, you've probably noticed the Cheesecake Factory, that sprawling restaurant known for its massive menu, generous portions, and of course, those iconic cheesecake slices that feel like a sweet little celebration. But here's the thing. The place that used to feel like a special treat is starting to lose its sparkle. Why? Because while prices keep climbing, many American families are struggling to keep up. In today's world of steady inflation and tighter budgets, dining at the Cheesecake Factory is no longer an everyday indulgence. What once felt like a casual luxury now often comes with a hefty price tag. A typical meal for 2 can easily hit $50 or $60 before tip a tough ask for families watching every dollar. Recent surveys show this shift clearly. Between 2018 and 2023, the Cheesecake Factory saw more than a 20% drop in customers compared to faster, more affordable chains. Places like Chipotle and Panera Bread have nailed what modern diners want: quick, simple, and reasonably priced meals. Meanwhile, Cheesecake Factory's enormous menu boasting around 250 items is starting to feel less like a perk and more like a burden. That endless list of dishes can overwhelm diners, leaving them confused or bored. Instead of feeling inspired by variety, many find themselves stuck, unsure what to pick. Once viewed as a classy yet accessible dining spot, Cheesecake Factory now faces stiff competition from smaller, local eateries. These neighborhood gems offer trendy, Instagram-worthy vibes, creative menus, and usually friendlier prices. For younger diners especially, these places feel fresher, cooler, and more in tune with their tastes and wallets. Why spend big on a meal that feels ordinary when there's quick, tasty, and affordable food just around the corner? The reality is, rising prices and a sprawling, outdated menu are holding Cheesecake Factory back in a fast-evolving food landscape. Consumers are more cost-conscious than ever, and big, flashy brands that once thrived on abundance risk getting left behind. That said, Cheesecake Factory still holds a place in America's dining culture, a familiar name and a comforting option for many. But the big question is, can it evolve fast enough? Will it find a way to stay relevant in a world where diners crave streamlined, affordable, and memorable experiences? Only time will tell if nostalgia alone can keep this dining giant afloat. Number 5. Red Lobster. There was a time when Red Lobster stood for something more than just seafood. For many working-class families across America, it was a place to mark milestones, an anniversary dinner, a graduation treat, or simply a well-earned reward after a long week on the grind. It wasn't about luxury, but about something affordable and special. Today, that simple pleasure is fading fast. Red Lobster is in trouble, deep trouble. Far beyond just another chain struggling to keep its doors open, its decline echoes a much bigger story: the disappearing joys of everyday working Americans. According to recent reports from Thai Union Group, which owns most of Red Lobster, the chain lost more than $33 million in just the first quarter of 2024. To stop the bleeding, they're now considering shuttering hundreds of locations nationwide. So what's behind this crisis? First, the cost of key ingredients, lobster, crab, shrimp, has soared to new heights over the last 2 years. Combine that with inflation pushing prices up across the board, rising wages for staff, and rent that keeps climbing, and suddenly those famous 20 endless shrimp deals don't make financial sense anymore. But it's more than just prices. Red Lobster's core customers, the middle-class families who once filled its dining rooms, are disappearing. A 2023 survey from FSR magazine revealed a staggering 30% drop in repeat diners compared to before the pandemic. Why? Some just don't have the disposable income they once did. Others are chasing fresher, local, more adventurous dining experiences that feel more in tune with today's food trends. The once lively Friday night buzz has faded into silence. From New Jersey to Arizona, for lease, signs are popping up where Red Lobster once anchored shopping plazas. It's not about people losing affection for the brand. They're stepping away because they simply can't afford it anymore. In a country where working people are increasingly squeezed, priced out of homes, healthcare, even education, the loss of a weekend seafood dinner isn't just a missed meal. It's another small fracture in the dignity of everyday life. Red Lobster was never just a restaurant. It was a symbol, a reminder of an America where working families could still enjoy a night out without breaking the bank. If the worst happens, and Red Lobster fades away in 2025 as experts now predict, it won't just be a business closing its doors. It will be a quiet but painful marker of a changing America, one where even simple celebrations are slipping out of reach. Number 6. Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, known affectionately as B-dubs, oozed to be the go-to spot for watching the game, downing cold beers, and tearing into spicy wings with your crew. It was that noisy, lively hub where sports fans and friends gathered to cheer, laugh, and indulge. But the buzz is fading. By 2025, this once iconic chain is facing an uncertain future. What happened to the wing giant? The answer lies in changing tastes and lifestyles. Buffalo Wild Wings built its empire on a simple, indulgent formula: wings, beer, and loud sports on massive screens. But today's consumers, especially millennials and Gen Z, aren't as hungry for greasy, high-calorie food and chaotic bar scenes. They want fresh, healthier meals, balanced with convenience and atmosphere. Numbers tell the story. Statista reports that Buffalo Wild Wings revenue has dropped about 15% since 2018. That's a glaring signal for a brand whose identity revolves around casual indulgence. Meanwhile, fast casual competitors like Chipotle and Panera Bread are booming, serving fresh, wholesome food at wallet-friendly prices. These places appeal to a generation more conscious about what and where they eat. And then there's the vibe. Buffalo Wild Wings is synonymous with packed dining rooms, blaring TVs, and a raucous crowd. But these days, many diners prefer quieter, more comfortable spots where they can unwind without shouting over the noise. Rising costs only deepen the problem. Back in 2022, a dinner for two at Buffalo Wild Wings could easily set you back $30 to $40, while competitors like Wingstop or Zaxby's offer similar wings for $20 to $25. For budget-conscious customers, that price gap is enough to make them reconsider. So what's next for Buffalo Wild Wings? The chain needs a bold reinvention, a fresh menu with healthier, more diverse options that don't break the bank, and an updated atmosphere that welcomes a wider crowd. But transformation takes time, and in today's fast-paced market, B-dubs might be running out of runway. Buffalo Wild Wings isn't just battling other restaurants, it's grappling with a cultural shift. Today's diners want meals that feel good, taste good, and come with an experience that fits their lifestyle and values. Once the king of game day hangouts, Buffalo Wild Wings is now just one player among many. Without quick, meaningful change, it risks fading into the background, a relic of a past era in America's ever-evolving food scene. Number 8. IHOP. When you think of IHOP, images of fluffy, golden pancakes swimming in maple syrup, sizzling bacon, and classic American breakfasts come flooding back. For generations, IHOP has been a beloved destination, cozy refuge where families and friends gather to start their day with comforting, familiar flavors. It's a place steeped in nostalgia and tradition, a symbol of the American breakfast experience. But the dining landscape today is shifting dramatically, and the question is whether IHOP can adapt quickly enough to maintain its place in the hearts and stomachs of a new generation. Once a pioneer and unquestioned leader in breakfast dining, IHOP now finds itself at a crossroads. Consumer preferences are changing fast. No longer satisfied with just indulgence, today's dinners, especially millennials and Gen Z, are more health-conscious and selective about what they put on their plates. They're counting calories, watching sugar intake, and increasingly seeking out options that fit vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, or other dietary lifestyles. The old playbook of sugar-soaked pancakes and buttery stacks just doesn't cut it anymore. Supporting this trend, the National Restaurant Association reports a staggering 44% drop in the consumption of traditional breakfast items, like pancakes, over the past 5 years. This is more than a passing fad, it's a clear signal that IHOP's core offering is losing its luster. Despite attempts to broaden its menu with salads, fruit smoothies, and lighter fare, IHOP's efforts have yet to win over the modern diner, looking for freshness and innovation, alongside nostalgia. The challenges don't end there. IHOP's traditional business model relies heavily on large, full-service, sit-down restaurants. These expansive venues, once a strength, now present a significant disadvantage. In contrast, fast casual chains like Chick-fil-A and Shake Shack have surged ahead by embracing more efficient, flexible operations that better withstand inflationary pressures and rising labor costs. Their streamlined setups and quick service models align well with the busy lifestyles and shifting spending habits of today's customers. Competition in the breakfast space has also intensified. Newcomers like First Watch and Eggs Up Grill aren't just offering tasty food, they're delivering on the growing demand for health-conscious dining. These chains blend delicious, wholesome ingredients with a focus on nutrition and sustainability, capturing the attention of customers who want both flavor and wellness in one meal. Despite these headwinds, IHOP still holds a loyal customer base. Many families and longtime patrons continue to cherish the brand's comforting familiarity. However, the pressure to innovate and evolve is undeniable. According to market analysis by IBISWorld, IHOP's revenue declined between 3 and 6% in 2023, a worrying trend, when competitors in the fast, casual, and breakfast sectors are continuing to grow. The road ahead for IHOP is full of tough decisions. Can it successfully modernize its menu to appeal to health-conscious consumers without losing the essence that made it a household name? Can it rethink its operational model to become more agile and cost-effective in a competitive, rapidly changing market? Or will IHOP follow the fate of many once iconic brands that failed to keep pace, fading from the cultural spotlight as new favorites rise? Ultimately, IHOP's future depends on its ability to balance tradition, with transformation honoring the comforting breakfast classics beloved by many, while boldly embracing the evolving tastes and values of today's diners. The next chapter in IHOP's story will reveal whether it can continue to be a morning staple, or whether it will become a nostalgic memory for a bygone era. Number 9. Taco Bell. When you hear Taco Bell, what usually comes to mind? For many, it's a late-night sanctuary of quick, cheap, and flavorful tacosa go-to spot after a night out or during a sudden hunger pang. For decades, Taco Bell carved out a special niche in the fast food world, serving millions with its vibrant menu of bold, crave-worthy, Mexican-inspired fare. But today, the fast food titan faces a growing dilemma. Can it keep its crown in a world where customers are no longer satisfied with just affordability and convenience? Increasingly, they want meals that are also mindful of health, quality, and ethics. Taco Bell's reputation has long been built on offering colorful, wallet-friendly options that deliver maximum flavor for minimal cost. It's a brand that thrived on indulgence, late-night runs, and a youthful, fun vibe. However, the American palate is evolving, and tastes are shifting faster than ever. Modern consumers, especially millennials and Gen Z, are looking beyond just price tags. They crave food that aligns with their values around nutrition, sustainability, and well-being. While Taco Bell's menu is famous for its bold, sometimes rich and heavy dishes, it's facing stiff competition from fast casual chains like Chipotle and Panera Bread. These brands have successfully tapped into the demand for fresher, more wholesome meals that emphasize real ingredients, balanced nutrition, and transparent sourcing. The market is moving toward food that feels good not only on the tongue but also in the body, and Taco Bell is now scrambling to keep pace. Numbers tell a telling story. Though Taco Bell remains a significant player in the fast food space, its growth in 2023 was a modest 3%, a fraction of what chains like Chipotle or Chick-fil-A have posted. This slower momentum reflects the increasing challenge of winning over a customer base that demands more than just fast and cheap. In response, Taco Bell has made efforts to diversify. They've introduced vegetarian and vegan items, experimented with gluten-free options, and tried to highlight their customizable menu to attract health-conscious diners. Yet, these attempts have so far lacked the impact needed to truly reshape the brand's image or expand its customer base meaningfully. The brand's core identity as a provider of indulgent, budget-friendly food still looms large, making it hard to shake the perception of being less healthy or clean. Then there's the business side. Taco Bell's low-price model, which once set it apart, now poses a tough balancing act. With rising food production costs, inflation, and supply chain challenges, maintaining those low prices without compromising on quality is becoming increasingly difficult. This puts Taco Bell at a strategic crossroads. How do you hold on to the value-driven consumers who count every dollar, while also modernizing your offerings to meet evolving taste and health trends? The path ahead won't be easy. To stay relevant, Taco Bell needs to innovate, boldly reinventing its menu with fresh, nutritious, and flavorful options that resonate with today's wellness-minded diners. At the same time, it must preserve the speed, affordability, and convenience that made it a household name in the first place. It's a delicate dance between tradition and transformation. Will Taco Bell be able to rewrite the rules of fast food and emerge stronger? Or will it struggle to keep up, gradually fading in the face of nimble competitors who better understand the new food landscape? The coming years will be critical in defining whether Taco Bell remains the late-night favorite for generations to come or becomes a nostalgic relic of a simpler, less health-conscious era. Number 10. TGI. TGI Fridays used to be the ultimate weekend hangouter lively spot, buzzing with laughter, towering burgers, and colorful cocktails. But in today's fast-changing food scene, can this once iconic chain still keep its edge? After nearly 6 decades, TGI Fridays is facing a steep decline. Recent reports reveal a revenue drop of over 4% last year, while competitors like Applebee's and Chili's managed to hold steady. This signals that the brand's hold as a go-to casual dining destination is slipping. Today's diners have evolved. They're no longer satisfied with greasy, heavy meals. Instead, they crave fresher, lighter, and more health-conscious options. While TGI Fridays sticks to its classic fare-think oversized burgers, saucy ribs, and crispy fries, newcomers like Shake Shack and Sweetgreen have captured audiences by blending crave-worthy flavors with wellness and sustainability. On top of shifting tastes, rising costs for rent and labor put enormous pressure on TGI Fridays' large traditional restaurant footprint. In a saturated casual dining market, staying profitable means rethinking the whole approach. Though TGI Fridays still enjoys a loyal fan base, it's clear the brand needs more than a few menu tweaks or promotional campaigns. A full transformation is necessary, one that refreshes the menu with healthier, more diverse choices while preserving the fun and casual vibe. It means repositioning the brand to resonate with younger, health-aware consumers and adopting a leaner, more flexible business model. The future hangs in the balance. Can TGI Fridays reinvent itself before it becomes just a nostalgic name in American dining history? The clock is ticking. So, can these chains from Cheesecake Factory to TGI Fridays weather the storms ahead? Or are they just destined to become nostalgic names in diner memories? One thing's for sure, the restaurant world never stands still. Only those who evolve and adapt will survive in this fast-changing game. What do you think? Will these chains bounce back or quietly fade away? Quick note, this is just our take. Things can change with new twists and turns. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, share it with friends and hit subscribe so you won't miss our bold predictions and fresh insights.